Thank you for joining me. We've made our way up the chakras to the throat chakra, also known as Vishuddha. And in Sanskrit, this translates to especially pure. We're going to talk about that a bit. All right. So the element associated with Vishuddha is ether. It's space. It's the container in which all of the other elements reside. It's in charge of our communication, our self-expression, our creativity, and authenticity. And it's associated with the color blue or turquoise. And some of the qualities of the throat chakra include embracing our true selves, communicating clearly and with honesty and compassion, speaking our inner truths. So the big learn there is we want to speak our inner truths and we want to embrace our true selves, but we also want to make sure that we are compassionate when we do so. It's not just about going around telling everybody about themselves. It's about making sure that we're coming from a place of love and that we're approaching it with humility, honesty, and compassion. This was a chakra that I worked on a lot because for the longest time, I didn't really say exactly how I felt, or I would wait until emotions were boiling over until I actually said how I felt and spoke with honesty. And by that point in time, my words might have been a little bit too harsh or cutting or biting. So something that I learned to do was to really focus on opening up, to being honest with people, for to allow people to see who I truly was, because that's really what I was longing for. I was longing for authenticity and to be able to be myself unapologetically. So, hey, it can happen and it will happen. All right. So the third chakra is related to the element of ether. And this space element allows us to give form and substance to our thoughts, our ideas, and our emotions. Just think about having this space to speak about your dreams, to speak about your ideas, and to then start to formulate actions in order to actually make those dreams come to fruition. That's what this chakra allows us to do. It's the container. It's the container for manifestation. It also symbolizes the energy of seeking the truth and speaking the truth. And when this chakra is not in balance, we can experience things like having a harder time communicating effectively, fearful about speaking your personal truth, and a harder time expressing your thoughts and feelings. Maybe you feel anxious about speaking or communicating. There might be something big that you want to ask someone. Maybe you want to talk to your boss about a new opportunity, or maybe you've had a disagreement with someone recently and you kind of want to squash it, but you're not sure how to approach it. Maybe you are in the dating scene and there's somebody that you really like and you're just not quite sure how to get those words out there. Um, this is a great way to really move that dense energy that's sitting in our throat that might keep those words kind of clogged in there and allowing us to speak from an authentic place. Remember, the throat chakra is just above the heart. So it is just a beat away from our center of love, from that center of giving and being able to receive love and give love freely. Our emotions also come into play, and if we are highly critical of ourselves and others, we might have a little bit of an imbalance. Maybe for us, we have a bit of maybe a sarcastic personality and we approach everything with a joke. That could be hiding something or masking something or trying to remove attention away from the things that really need to be dealt with. So we are loud. We have to be the loudest voice in the room. We have to, create fantastical stories or anything. So just be mindful of that. Also, if you've noticed that you have chronic sore throats or a raspy throat, there may be some things going on in there. Remember, all of these chakras are related to energy. And when the energy is not moving, when we are not doing the things that we need to do, it stays stagnant. And these stagnant energies can cause physiological changes in our body, whether positive or negative. So we just want to be aware of that. Also, if you have thyroid issues or laryngitis, which is the inflammation of your voice box. Now, the throat chakra also governs sound and resonance. And some ways to bring balance is through chanting mantras, which is what we've been doing in some of our previous videos and classes. We're chanting those mantras, which are sending our intentions out into the universe. Our voice is a powerful thing. Sound is a powerful thing. It's energy. Also, doing neck stretches. If you're feeling especially tense, maybe just making sure that you kind of, maybe look from shoulder to shoulder, whatever is comfortable for you within your range of motion. Again, it's all about getting that energy moving. Breath work with a focus on the out breath. So yeah, we do a lot of focus on taking those deep breaths in, but we want to make sure that we are breathing out. There is power in that out breath. There is power in that sigh and letting it all go. Stimulating those acupressure points within our throat and within our mouth, and working with the mudras that stimulate the thyroid and the parathyroid. As you can see in the picture here, the hands are just underneath the chin. So we're applying some pressure to an acupressure point underneath the chin, and that is going to help to open up some of that dense energy there. And the Vishuddha mantra, Hummy Hum Brahm Hum. This is one of my favorites. We are we, and we are one with the divine. This is a mantra that reminds us that we are all connected, not only to ourselves, to each other, but also with the divine source energy. That is so important to remember, that we are part of the divine. We are here manifest on this earth. We are not separate from the divine. We are literally a walking manifestation of divine energy. And when we remember that, and when we claim that, we can do some of the most amazing things imaginable. Another Vishuddha mantra is So Hum. So Hum. Again, putting focus on that vibratory energy. When we close our mouths and hum, we're vibrating the mouth, we're vibrating the teeth. We're causing that vibration to travel through our body and out into the world. There is power in sound. Think about your favorite song. Think about the memories it evokes, right? Think about something that might repel you, that might say, oh, I'm not quite ready for that sound energy today. There is power in sound. So in Soham, it translates to oneness, or I am one with the universe, or I am one with all of creation. When we remove the middleman, right? When we remove those obstacles and we remember that we have a direct connection to the divine, we tap into our true personal power and we can move mountains. The Venus Lock Mudra. That is the mudra where we bring our hands into that Venus lock and we're applying pressure, acupressure points to the mounds of our thumbs that are connected to our thyroid and parathyroid. This brings balance to the glands located within the physical area where our throat chakra resides. And you can take the same Venus mudra, if you remember the photo from a few slides ago. And with that, you're pressing the pads of your thumb onto the back of your hands. You're activating those acupressure points, and then you're also pressing into the acupressure point underneath your chin, near throat. Just take a moment to try that out. So in times that you are feeling maybe a little unsure about your words, maybe you need a little bit of courage or guidance, take a moment, put those hands together in Venus Lock Mudra, and think about your message. Remember to pull that message from your heart and send it out into the world with honesty and compassion.